Red Beard Podcast is brought to you by these cool dudes.
Hey, this is Zach Galligan, and you're listening to Red Beard Podcast. You know, the guys are pretty cool, but don't feed them after midnight.
Hello, and welcome to the Red Beard Podcast. This is Cooley, and I want to introduce my friend who sits across the table from me.
Hello, this is Tony. I knew you were going to expect that voice. Is this on?
What's up, everybody? It's Friday, and it is a Red Beard Podcast kind of day. So, what is up?
Yeah, what's going on, everybody? Hey, I wanted to talk about something right off the bat because I saw this last night. Do you watch America's Got Talent?
I do not. Yeah, because Nick Cannon's on it. I'm not a big Nick Cannon fan. I'm not a,
Yeah, but he's only on it for like, I don't know, maybe like 5 minutes in total. Then it's mostly the judges. But there was this guy who did this trick, and it was insane, man. It was this magician, right? He comes out, and he's like, hey, check this out. I'm going to do like a trick with Rubik's Cubes. And I was like, all right, this is going to be weird, right? But he literally takes a Rubik's Cube. He mixes it up, right, and jumbles it up. He's like, there's 17 trillion different ways you could do this, but I'm going to just mix it up. So he mixes it up, and then he has a brown paper bag. He drops it into the paper bag, right, and then, like, he does this little, like, thing, and then he reaches back into the paper bag and pulls out the Rubik's Cube, and it's solved. And then they're like, oh, he's like, there's another one in the bag, though, right? So he's like, no, he's like, I'll let you guys check. He's like, so he gives it to Mel, I think, or Heidi or whatever. And as he gives it to her, he crumples the bag up in his hand. So you know there's not like another Rubik's Cube in there. Then the second part of the trick was he had Simon basically like take a Rubik's Cube and jumble it up whatever way he wanted, puts it in the bag, right? And he goes, I want you to put it in the bag so I can't see any side of that, right?
Yep.
Then he takes another Rubik's Cube, and messes it up the way that he wants, right? And then he takes both of them out, and they match on every side. Like, there's no way that he knew, like, the combination that Simon did. Like, he just did it wicked quick, like, out of view. He couldn't see it and put it in the bag.
Right.
And then they matched. And then I was talking to a certain person at work who, whatever his name. His name's Bruce Calver. He's, like, a magician. He's been, like, awesome magician. He was the president of, like, I don't know what the name of the organization is called, but it was the president of, like, the Magicians, right, company or club. And basically, it's the same exact organization that Houdini was once president of. So it's a pretty big honor. But I asked him to watch the clip on YouTube, and he did. And I said, do you know how he did that? And he was like, yeah. And he wouldn't tell me. He goes, but if you go on this site called hocuspocus.com, you can buy that trick for $200. I was like, so basically all I have to do is go to this site, buy a fucking magic trick, learn like 5 good ones, right? And then just go to AGT. Like, seriously. Like, I just thought that was so funny. Like,
you buy 5 good ones, it sounds like it's probably going to be a fucking good amount of money that you're investing in it, though.
Yeah, but if you can make it to the final round of America's Got Talent,
yeah,
and present it well, then you're doing your job, right?
Yeah, and for those of you listening, like, yeah, we pretty much work at Narnia.
Yeah.
Right? Like, because every time we talk about somebody we work with, it's always something fucking amazing. Like, oh, this guy fucking, he does magic tricks and he's from, you know what I mean? It's like, and then we got another guy that, oh, this guy builds websites, and this guy, like, we just fucking have a grab bag of fucking the best talent in the world at our disposal. So, just throwing it out there.
Like, I go to work and he's like, hello, welcome to Narnia.
Yeah, this guy we work with did our intro in 15 seconds. Yeah, like.
Jay, he did it in 15 minutes on his break. What a G. Oh, man. Anyway, yeah, man. So, welcome to the Friday podcast. This is awesome. So, guys, we're going back to Walker Stalker at the end of this month. We're going to be doing a lot of stuff, man. We have an event going on. Cooley, talk about that for a second.
Before we talk about that, I don't know if you saw me staring off into space just now, but I just had a thought.
Yeah.
On what you were just talking about, the magic trick with the Rubik's Cube.
Yeah.
I was just thinking it would probably be a really funny shtick to do that trick, and then when you hand the bag to them and have another Rubik's Cube in there.
It's just there's another one.
Yeah, and then when they call you out, you go, what the fuck? What the fuck? That's not how this goes. You're supposed to say there's not another one in there.
And then that's
I would love that. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, Walker Stalker, man. Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. It's going to be awesome. Again.
Yeah.
Last year was baller. We got to talk to some really cool people. But this year it is like, dude, they have a ton of Walking Dead people. I mean, it's like insane.
Yeah.
The amount of people that they have. I think it's going to be a little bit more crowded too.
I mean, more fun for me. And I mean, I love talking to, the celebrities and meeting them and shaking hands and all that stuff. But I mean, more fun for me is just like seeing everybody like dressed up and like in costume and, walking around. Like there was some pretty good like zombies there the last time.
Yeah, a lot of people did some good cosplay. I was pretty surprised actually. I didn't expect to see as much as we did last time because it's Walker Stalker. It's not Comic-Con. But like people like went all out.
Oh yeah,
like I'm going as a friggin' zombie. And like they literally did really good like makeup work, and it was insane, like latex shit. So people were going all out.
Dude, we had fun last year. We were kind of, we went there. We talked to some people. We had some good like interviews. We talked to Zach Galligan, which was awesome.
Yeah, he's Billy from Gremlins.
Ming Chen, man, that was like my highlight. Yeah, that was awesome. Maybe he'll be there this time. I think he's going to be. But I mean, this year we're going to do things a little bit differently. Yeah.
What we want to do is actually give away a free T-shirt every hour. But we're going to be playing some cool games with everybody, like some trivia. And it's going to be, stuff they're going to be posting on Twitter. We're going to do some Facebook Live stuff. So, because, we want you guys to actually be with Redbeard Podcast while we're kind of on our Walker Stalker journey. It's nice for, our followers and our fans to actually kind of see live what we're doing and the people that we're meeting and stuff like that. So, just make sure that if you haven't liked our page on Facebook or you haven't been following us on Twitter yet, make sure you do that because that is going to be blowing up on July 31st.
Yeah, it's going to, the bottom line is we're going to go there and we're going to have a ton of fun.
Hell yeah.
It's just going to be fun.
I'm probably going to take my pants off at one point and see how that goes,
Yeah.
I don't know. I think I might get kicked out, but, hey, it'll be fun.
Why would you get kicked out? It is a Walking Dead convention. So
I'm the zombie with no pants.
You can't kick me out.
Well, you're dead from the waist down, aren't you?
Oh, that's fucking stupid. That's so fucking stupid. Oh, that's so stupid.
Come on, man. That was a good one.
That was pretty good. Yeah. I'm dead from the waist down with rigor mortis.
Oh, man.
Ming Chen was awesome, though.
Yeah, he was.
He was just like, and I like the thing about Ming Chen was like, he told us from the get-go, he was like, we were like, hey, we do this thing, it's a podcast, and as soon as we said podcast, he's like, you guys said the magic word podcast, let's go.
Yeah.
Because it's basically what he does. So when we said podcast, he was like, jumped right on it.
Yep.
There was one of our listeners actually did comment on that, and they were like, I really like the Ming Chen interview. They're like, but I really like how he spelled The Walking Dead for people that haven't read the graphic novels yet. But I mean, like if you pay attention to it, I mean, yeah. And I remember you talked to him about Preacher too, and he was like amped for it. So I definitely want to know what he thinks about Preacher when we go back.
Yeah, for
sure.
You
gotta get an interview with him and talk to him about Preacher. Because and Preacher, dude, the last episode, how badass was it?
Awesome.
The beginning was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
So I didn't expect. That was way over the top. That was like a bloodbath.
Yeah.
First like 6 minutes.
Like I actually like it was funny because I was watching it and it was like when that first like light went off in the diner.
Yeah.
And she came walking out. I was like, that's a cheap ass special effect, and I was just like, that was really weak. But then when they were in the thing in the hotel and they were fighting and like everybody died and like they'd come back and you'd see that flash like over and over and over and over again.
Yeah.
I was like, that's why it was such a
cheesy thing.
It was such a cheesy thing because you can't do something like really fucking awesome and then have it like over 100 times in
Every
the first
time,
10 minutes. Like you have to like kind of save your money.
Right.
You know what I mean? So you do that. You spend a little less money on the special effect, but you have a fucking awesome fight scene. And then you spend more money on having like a pile of bodies of the same person.
That was crazy.
That was awesome. It was so awesome, man.
And like I said, I haven't read the graphic novel, so I thought it was really funny.
It's not a thing in the graphic novels.
What, the respawning?
Yeah.
Oh, all right, never mind. But I thought it was kind of funny where the bald guy, I forgot his name, but he was like, the tall guy walks over to him and he's like, "Oh, you're right." And he's like, "I'm not dead yet." And he's like, boom, like shoots him in the head. And he's like, he's like, "I'm good." Like a whole new person comes out. I mean, that was cool. Yeah, I just thought that was really interesting, man. But I didn't know that once they were dead, that the body still remained. I thought it was just like a respawning and that body disappeared. So when I saw the pile of dead bodies, I was like, holy shit. It
was awesome.
That's going to be some cleanup.
And I love, dude, Cassidy just keeps nailing it every week.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Every week. That whole cast, man. And I'm loving Arseface.
He's getting better.
Yeah.
Like I'm starting to actually be a little bit more into his character, I don't know. He's just a very interesting character because it's like I really want them to get into like more detail about like what went down. Like why his face is the way they is.
He tried to blow his face off with a shotgun.
No, I know that. I mean, I think that's obvious, but I feel like
failed.
But I feel like they should talk about it more. Like it's just like this thing that happened that nobody's really addressed yet. Like I feel like there needs to be a conversation about it a little bit more in depth for everybody, because I feel like it's just that thing that's there. It's like whenever he's on stage, or not stage, whenever he's on screen, it's like this elephant in the room, that hasn't technically been addressed yet.
Well, yeah, and I think that's for a reason.
Right.
Like it's because like it's difficult for people to talk about, like especially his parents and his father.
Yeah, but I feel like even with Preacher, I mean, I know Preacher knows what happened, but I just feel like I wanted him to go into a little bit more like of an in-depth conversation about it. Like bring us back a little bit to the moment it happened, like what was going through your head.
Maybe there will be a. I mean, do you really want them to have a conversation, or would a flashback suffice for you?
Maybe a flashback, even a flashback.
Yeah, because I mean, I feel like you just want details. Yeah, and not so, because I mean, it's like it's either details or you're really looking for Arseface to get some counseling.
well, I don't want him to get counseling. I mean, I feel like he needs it. He's kind of fucked up, but I mean, from everything, and his father treats him like shit. But I just feel like he definitely needs some counseling, and I think he kind of confides in Preacher for that, because he's not getting it from anywhere else, and he kind of lives in that type of town where I feel like counseling might be kind of frowned upon. Like, oh, you get counseling, you're a pussy, So, and it's a small town, so people would find out, So, but I feel like Preacher, it's not abnormal for somebody to kind of confide in their priest. You know what I mean? So I feel like it's an option for him. It's like a door that's always open where he can confide in him. But I feel like, like a flashback would be cool or something, like to see this kid as he was in that moment and what happened, and I know that it probably goes into greater detail in the graphic novels, but I would like to know. I think there are, as a large audience out there, that probably would want to see a flashback of some sort of what happened. Right. Because he's just this character, and you're like, oh, shit, that's obviously what happened by looking at his face, but, like, that's all we got, I just feel like at some point they're probably going to go into a little bit more detail.
Yeah, and he's, he just nails it as an actor, though. I mean, I think he does a really good job giving you that emotion, like, making you feel, like, sorry for him. Yeah. Because he doesn't overplay the sympathy side of it. Like the character's not looking for sympathy at all. Mm-hmm. Character's just trying to be a normal person, right? And like he can't.
Well, and I think the other thing too is I think he does a really good job as an actor conveying that emotion, because you can't think about that. Like when you are on, if anybody has ever. I don't think you have to be an actor to get it, but it's like even you as a person, when you talk to somebody, you use your mouth to pronounce words in a certain way. You emphasize certain words to get like a point across. People can kind of see when you're smiling. They can see, if you're not smiling, like stuff like that. Like that's all like half of your face, which is your part of your personality. So for him to get us to actually kind of feel bad for him from seeing just like his like nose up, like with his eyes, like I thought some of the coolest moment was when his father flipped out on him and his eyes got wide. Like he couldn't believe that his father said that to him. But was like obviously hurt, and he started like cleaning up the shit on the floor. Yeah, I felt so bad for him, but in his eyes you could see it, and that was he did an awesome job with that moment.
Yeah, and I think that was like what he had to nail in the audition in order to get that role. And I think there were probably a lot of people that tried out and couldn't do that. Yeah, I mean, he was really expressive. His eyes are very expressive, and it pays off for the viewer, because I mean we can totally get into that. It's like exactly like what he's feeling. Like he does a great job like smiling, looking sad. He can be angry. Like everything is just like you can tell by, like you said, just by looking at his eyes. And there's no other part of his face that you can see.
I want to see too. I'd be interested to know a little bit more about like what he's doing with his vocal work, because there's obviously something going on behind that latex, like that's making him sound like he's like drooling over himself. Like I want to know like what he's doing like vocally to make that happen, because it's to the point where if you didn't have subtitles, you can still understand him if you listen closely enough. But if you don't have subtitles, if you're not listening to him and you can't understand it, the subtitles are there. Right. It's just enough. It's on that line where you might not understand him, but you still can. It sounds kind of like he's eating soup the whole time, So I don't know. It's interesting. He's doing a good job with it, but I still want to know like what he's doing with his mouth to make those sounds. Right. Yeah.
We probably will never know. No, unless they do a behind the scenes kind of thing,
which I think eventually, because
like
I feel
DVD or something like that.
Yeah, like I feel like this is going on for a while. Like this series will go on. I don't think it's going to stop anytime soon.
Oh no. Especially if they can hold on to the actors, which they probably have them contracted for a certain amount of seasons.
Yeah, I mean, and they would be dumb to leave. To do anything else, because this is getting great reviews and everybody loves it. Yep, it's another like
Tulip is amazing.
She's killing it.
I think her name is Emma or Emily. I can't remember exactly, but it's definitely something like that. It's like Emma or Emily, one or the other.
What character does she play?
She's basically his assistant at the church.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. She's doing
great.
A good job. Yeah,
she's great because like her character is like definitely. It's very nuanced because she seems like sweet, innocent girl, but then she's like boning the mayor. Right. You know what I mean? Like, just for the sake of boning him. Like, not, you know what I mean? So it's like, it's this weird, like.
It was that dynamic was weird. When she walked in and she was like, we're never going to be together. And then
he's just like,
she just starts taking her pants off. I was like, oh shit. Okay. Like, word.
Just she's like, hurry up. Last time you were here when the kids woke up. And it's like, it's like, yo, this guy, like, that's not who I know from the first two episodes, right? Like, it's, right. Yeah, so she's killing it because, like, she plays the role perfectly.
She does. But I think she's also, like, in love with Preacher.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much, like,
it's a given.
Obvious as shit, yeah. But, I mean,
and then Jackie Earl Hickey.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he's pretty fucked up.
Dude, that was awesome.
Yeah.
Like when those people show up and he just
blows them away.
Yeah, like
I mean, like
I'm doing the work of God. I serve God.
I didn't see that coming. Like I didn't. I thought something was up with him. I was like, oh, this is weird. Like this is just like a new side of him. But then as soon as he was like, let's get started, and he leaned over, I'm like, oh shit, and then boom.
I want to know how I want to know how, because I'm sure it's just a matter of how he understood what serving God means.
Well, I feel like he thinks that those people are shady. You know what I mean? So they don't necessarily need to. They're not like living God's way. You know what I mean? So I think because they're shady, he was like, "Oh, God wouldn't want them." Like here, you're like that's my.
Or maybe they were good people, and he wanted to send them to heaven to serve God some souls.
Possibly too.
Right? Yeah. Maybe serve is he's looking at it as a different verb than what the preacher meant.
Right. And it's interesting because it really is like Genesis has this weird power where it's always a twist when
It's like Twilight Zone stuff.
Yeah, like he'll say something, but it's always like shit. You ever see, this is a stupid reference, but you ever see that movie Bedazzled with Brendan Fraser and Elizabeth Hurley?
Yeah.
Well, he's like, I want to be a millionaire and I want to be extremely powerful. And that was like his one wish. So he wakes up as a drug dealer. You know what I'm saying? Like it takes what they say, but fucks with it a little bit.
Right.
You know, like, like the first guy ripped his heart out. You know, like it's stuff like that, you know? So it's very literal, but there's always like a twist behind it. So,
Yeah.
So I knew something was happening, but I didn't expect that, but it was cool when it did.
Yeah, man, that the word of God or the power of Genesis in the comic is very much represented the same way. Very different uses for it in the comic. But yeah, because I mean, like, in the comic they could get away with murder, literally. Where on the show there's certain things that they have to tone down. Like he can't tell somebody to go fuck themselves in the show, but in the comic
he does.
Oh yeah,
that's awesome.
And that's exactly what the dude goes and does. And there's another guy, he tells him to go count like every grain of sand on the beach, and if he fucks up, he needs to start over.
Oh my god,
dude. The whole I think he does that. I think it's like maybe the third issue or whatever, fourth, maybe not. Maybe it was a little later because I know it was towards like the beginning or middle of the whole arc, and the story's somewhere around like 69 issues or something like that. And it was a running joke like throughout the book, like where they would always like go back to this guy counting every grain of sand on the beach. And then, like, there was at one point where he fucked up and he started over back at one. And it was like, it was a running joke. And it was like every now and then they would just show you a panel or two of this guy just counting sand on the beach. And it was fucking hilarious.
That's insane. That's fucking insane, dude. I can't even imagine that. Like, I don't even know what one grain is. Like,
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, holy shit, dude. I'd lose my fucking mind. It's like in,
and I bet you it's not even like Oakland Beach where like the grains of sand are like fucking like pebbles. It's probably like,
yeah, it's probably like dust.
Yeah,
you know, yeah.
Narragansett Beach.
Yeah, like just the finest sand ever, like on like an oasis. So, I do want to ask you this though, a completely different topic. Do you have any desire to see the Secret Life of Pets? Because
yes.
I'm totally going to see that shit.
Yes, I'm going on Sunday.
Are you really?
Yeah. We're taking Elijah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm down to see this. I'm down to see that. That looks awesome.
Yeah, I'm pumped because
especially the poodle.
Oh yeah, the poodle.
It's like my favorite. That's my favorite part of the commercial, man.
When he starts like head banging, yeah.
And all his friends do it, and then the bird that's fucking like hovering over the fan.
Yeah,
playing the game.
Right. Yeah, playing the game. Yeah. I'm actually pretty psyched because like you got some people in there that I really like the voices of. Like I'm a big like Albert Brooks fan because he was in like Finding Nemo.
Yeah.
So I'm a big fan of him. I like that his voice is in there. Louis C.K.'s in it. Kevin Hart. I mean, there's a ton of people, man. Eric Stonestreet from Modern Family is going to be in it.
AKA Todd Braley.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And
what's up, Todd?
He looks very similar, and I didn't notice that until you said that. I think you said that to me like a week or two ago, and I fucking lost it. But he does, dude. They look very similar. It's a good thing. Dana Carvey, your boy Hannibal Buress.
Yep.
Who else? There's somebody else.
I wonder what he's playing.
Oh shit! I just had it up. Wait a minute. Shit.
Probably a cat. It would be great if he was playing like one of the grumpy cats.
One of the cats, yeah. See, I want to see it because of the cat, man. Like, that's why I'm excited, because I have a cat, so that shit's going to be fucking hilarious. But no, I mean, I don't know when I'm going to see it. I'm hoping that's going to be Sunday, but it might not be. It might have to wait till that following week, because this week I'm
going to Maine.
to DJ a wedding. So it's got a nice a 5.5 hour drive, bro. That's long. I mean, it took me this past weekend. I was in New York and for a show, and that was I drove up there, and that was about 3 hours and 15 minutes, and that was pretty long. This one's 5.5 hours, so I'm like, oh my god,
dude, you're gonna come back, and then we're gonna do that show with Cassidy.
Yeah.
Right? And then I'm going to go to Maine.
Are you really?
Yeah.
You going to Maine?
Yeah.
For what?
We're just going to go. We're going out to like hang out at a cabin, like just chill out, have a little vacation.
That's cool.
Yeah. It's going to be cool. It's going to be fun. The drive is going to be fun, I'm sure. I don't think I'm going to drive.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to be in a passenger seat.
Why? Like Court wants to drive?
Yeah, she likes to drive, and I don't. So,
oh, all right.
Yeah, no, I'm not a fan of driving long distances because I get like highway hypnosis.
Oh yeah, you like zone out?
Yeah, I'll zone out, and then I'll be like, I'll just doze, and then like,
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, no, but I mean, like, I always catch myself.
Yeah, all right.
No, I'm serious. Like, I'll doze, and I'll be like, and then I'll slap myself, and I'll fucking like,
Jesus
I'll
Christ.
pump the music up, and I'll start singing.
Yeah,
I'll start talking to people. Hey, talk to me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But, like, it's dangerous.
It is dangerous. It's fucking scary. Remember never to let you drive on long distances because I won't be able to go to sleep. I'll just be like keeping one eye open. No, I'm literally, dude, I'm looking forward to it because the first
But I mean
night,
long distances, like to Maine, not like Boston. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, come on, get with it.
Yeah.
But like, no, I honestly, it's going to be good because we're going up there on Friday. We're going up then, and then we're actually going to be staying over the night. The wedding's the next day. It's from like 12 to 4.
Is Becca going with you?
Yeah.
Nice.
So yeah, that's the best part. Is she's coming with me, so she's actually going to like be my assistant.
Cool. And you guys are going to like hang out and like actually enjoy like a little bit of downtime, like see Maine and do some stuff.
Yeah, we're going to go to there's a national park up there we're going to check out. So
which
it's
one?
Be cool. I don't remember the name of it, but I got to like do a little bit more research. But
cool.
I know it's one of the guys that came into work was talking about it. So I just got it's close by. I know that because I looked it up before. I just forgot the name.
Well, if you get it, let me know so that we can maybe check it out when we go.
Yeah, totally, man.
If we're nearby, I don't even know if we're going to like the same area.
Might not be, but I'll let you know.
It's a huge friggin' state. You've seen it on the map, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, anybody who hasn't seen Maine on the map, brace yourself. It's a big fucking state.
Yeah, and where I'm going is in like the fucking middle. Of course, can't be just over the border.
Yeah,
it's got to be like halfway into the fucking state.
It's like the explorers and stuff that were like staking out territory. Like they got to New Hampshire and then like said, fuck it, the rest of it's just a state.
It's literally like 15 Rhode Islands.
They're like screw this, just call that Maine because it's like the main state. Okay,
it's the main state.
That's the main one.
Oh my god, it's going to be fun. I'm looking forward to it. So.
Oh man, but what about Outcast, man? Have you been watching that?
I've been watching Outcast. That's one other show I need to catch up on. But I watched the first 3 episodes. And it was awesome. But I think they're on like 6
5
now? 5, so I got 2 to catch up on.
6 will be this week.
Yeah. And like I said, my mother's watching it. I talked to her about it the other day. I was like, oh, you still watching Outcast? She's like, oh, I fucking love that show. Like, awesome. She's like, the main character's doing such a good job. I was like, yeah, I got to catch up on it. Like, my mom's ahead of me on it. I love it.
Yeah, it is a great show. They're doing such a good job. And that's one of the most, like, by the book shows that I've watched because it was designed to be a TV show.
Yeah.
So Kirkman wrote it with that in mind. So I'm really happy with the way that it's working out, and I'm happy for Kirkman because he's just killing it.
Yeah, no, he's doing a great job.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really dark. It's really twisted.
This dude is on TV pretty much all year round.
Yeah. Yep.
Right? Like he's got this, Fear the Walking Dead, and The Walking Dead.
Yep. I mean, he knows how to make money. I mean, that's
it.
And he writes the graphic novels.
He hustles.
Yeah.
That's how he makes money. He hustles. I know that he was at AMC, right? For like probably for months, just standing outside the door of AMC. Dude, you got to check out my script. Come on, dude, check out my script. Dude, come on, you got to read this. This is awesome. You should really check out this script. Dude, this script is great. Hey, have you read The Walking Dead? Do you know what The Walking Dead is? Have you seen Battle Pope? You know what I mean?
Have you seen Battle Pope?
I'm telling you, that's gotta be his approach. I'm positive. And then finally, somebody at AMC was like, "Fuck, just give me the script, all right?" Like, and then they read the script and they were like, "Wow, let's get this guy in there."
Yeah,
right.
Let's talk to him.
But yeah, I'm sure that's how it went down because that's how it went down for me. That's how I became a Robert Kirkman fan. He pressured me into it.
Yeah, he got in your face. Yeah. No, he's definitely got his shit together, man. I mean, yeah, he's got his hand in everything. I mean, this is his moment if it's anything, you know. And he's smart. Because The Walking Dead, I don't know how many seasons it's got left, but you know, it's probably not going to go on for a ton longer. You know what I mean? So you got that. Fear the Walking Dead is in season 1 or season 2 right now. You know what I mean? And then you got Outcast. So once The Walking Dead ends, he's already got like another series, 2 series going. You know, where he's just going to be pulling in money.
But I don't know, man. The Walking Dead could probably go on for a while. I mean, if they finally get to a point where, you know, people are sick of, you know, Rick, Michonne, and they're introducing all these other characters that could potentially just take over the show. Yeah,
but at the same time, like, and that's a good point. But
kind of like Lost. I mean, did you watch Lost?
No, I know what happened though. But yeah, I know.
No, I know what happened though, man.
Yeah, whatever. They were dead.
Fucking stupid show.
I heard from Jim it was like good, and then it sucked, and then the ending was dumb, and I don't know.
No, so the show was fucking excellent up until like season 6.
See, Jim said that like season 2 was like horrible or whatever. Like,
I don't know. I dug it up until like around season 6 and 7, where it was like the last couple of seasons because you could tell that they were just like on fumes. They were like, "Oh, we just want to fucking squeeze a little bit more money out of this, please."
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And it didn't pay off because like you're watching it for 7 seasons, and then all of a sudden it's like, "Oh, they were all dead." Like we thought they were, and you told us they weren't. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, because you obviously like now in this era, you have all these forums and these panels where you can go and you can ask questions of the writers and stuff like that. And, you know, people ask this guy like, you know, several times, you know, Damon Lindelof and J.J. Abrams and all the people involved in the show. Dude, are they dead? We think they're dead. It seems like they're dead. And nope, that's not it. It's not it. You're wrong. Keep watching.
Yeah, but I think they have to do that because if they tell people they're dead, then people are going to fucking be like, oh, they're dead.
Well, I feel like the answer should have been, we can't say. We're not going to say anything. Keep watching. Right? But they literally use the words, you're wrong. That's not what it is. You need to keep watching. The outcome is going to astound you. Right? It's like, all right, cool. So it's going to be something other than them being dead. I'm totally invested in this. I want to know what you're doing. Where are you going with this? And then they're dead. Fuck you.
Yeah, I guess.
Right? Or no? Like, you don't think that's a good reason to be pissed?
No, I do. I mean, that's why I said, yeah. I mean, that's bullshit. I think they probably should have said, we can't tell you. Because if you say no, and then that's what it is, you're like, oh.
Yeah, let me tell you a little something, man. I'm going to give you a little comic book education right now.
Cool.
There was a thing that they did in DC called Armageddon, right? And it was this big, long, sweeping story arc. You know, the issues of the comics were like 80 pages each and shit. It was like it was huge. And there are these 2 characters called Hawk and Dove, right?
Yeah.
And Dove is like obviously like a peaceful one, and Hawk is the guy that wants to fight everybody and smash your teeth in.
Right.
Right. So anyway, these 2 characters were kind of popular. I mean, I would say that they had a decent following and fans dug them and shit. But they weren't like Superman and Batman. Like they weren't like icons.
Right.
So this story was basically written to like kind of propel them into, you know, the spotlight. So it's following the characters and everything is going according to plan. And the whole idea of this thing is that there's a hero that is in the future who decides that, you know, the only way to really save the future is to kill, you know, all the heroes in the past. because the heroes are responsible for some shit that happens, and he's like the ruler of everything because like he's like this like what do you call him? His name was Monarch.
Oh, it was like a god.
Yeah. So his name was Monarch, and he was a god. He was like a king of like everything, kind of like the Emperor in Star Wars. Mm-hmm. And fans figured out that it was Hawk. They're like, "Oh, we got it. It's Hawk." And so they wrote in, and they were like, "Dude, it's Hawk. It's totally Hawk." And they were like, "Nope, it's not Hawk." Right? And they changed who the character was because somebody figured it out. So the entire story made zero sense because they changed what it was because they wanted to surprise the fans, right? And I forget who it ended up being, but it made zero fucking sense. And everybody was just like, "What?" And then later, like I think it was like about maybe maybe not even, maybe it was like a year or two later, they finally like copped to it and were like, "Oh yeah, you're right. It was really supposed to be Hawk. We changed it to this person. Deal with it." Right? But I feel like that was the same shit that they did with Lost, except they didn't even try. They didn't even try to make it different. They were just like, fuck, they figured it out. Let's just lie. Right?
Right. Yeah.
I don't know. It pissed me off.
Yeah, I can see that perspective. I mean, but if you think about it, I mean, like you've put millions into a show and then like people kind of guess the ending, it kind of would piss you off. Like, you don't want to say, you're like, "Oh, shit, like, they figured it out. Like, that was supposed to be, like, our M. Night Shyamalan twist." You know what I mean? So I think they kind of, like, try to save their asses a little bit. And you know, they probably speak too soon and say no when they should say, keep watching. You know? Like, we're not going to reveal anything. You know, that would be the smart response.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
You got anything else?
I think I'm good, man. I think I covered everything I wanted to.
Man, I'm an asshole today. Like, what the fuck?
What?
I'm just sitting here like, hey, you got anything else? What the fuck?
No, man.
Got anything else you want to say?
Oh, no, I do.
Jackass.
Oh, before I forget. Uncle Buck has been canceled.
Oh, yeah, we wanted to talk about that, didn't we?
Yeah. No, but dude, Uncle Buck got canceled and, like, good because you should never name a show after a movie that was awesome. I honestly, like, I feel like that show fucked itself by using that name. Like, I'm a huge John Candy fan. I love Uncle Buck. It's like got a really like big place in my heart because I watched it a ton when I was a kid. It was like a family movie. And then you take like a storyline or like the main premise of it and try to put it into a TV show with a completely different cast of people and name it Uncle Buck. Like, can you just name it something else? Like, it doesn't have to be named Uncle Buck for it to be successful. Name it something else, and people will still want to watch it or check it out. Just don't name it Uncle Buck. You know what I mean? But, I mean, they were trying to basically do the same thing, and they were running out of ideas, so they stole the name, hoping that, like, people would be invested in it because they know Uncle Buck. You know what I mean? That's kind of how I felt about it. So when it got when it got canceled, I wasn't surprised.
I was surprised because I thought it was actually decent. Mm. It wasn't great by any means, but it was funny.
Right.
You know, it was funny. The kids were cool. I thought the kids were interesting. I really like Mike Epps. I think Mike Epps is a funny ass dude. Pretty much everything I've seen Mike Epps in, and with Mike Epps, like in movies and stuff like that, I haven't really seen like a Mike Epps movie or Mike Epps on a show like where like he was like a main character. It's always been like Mike Epps shows up for like 5 minutes, is funny as hell, and then you don't see him again.
Well, that was like in The Hangover.
Yeah, The Hangover. What was the other thing I just saw him in? That movie with it had Bernie Mac and Ashton Kutcher.
Oh yeah, I didn't watch it, but I know the name of it.
Yeah, but he was like the cab driver, like that dropped him off.
I don't know the name of it. I mean, I don't remember.
But anyway, like yeah, he shows up and like he's in and out of the movie, and it's like I always said to myself, dude, I want to see Mike Epps in something that he's actually a main character in, and I can actually like enjoy his comedy. And I finally got it, and now it's gone. that fast. And it wasn't because it's not because he wasn't funny in it. It was because, I don't know, people get fucking butthurt because they used a name of a movie that they liked. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, but it's the same thing with it's the same thing with like. I think it's a fucking cop out. Like, that's what I think it is. Like, and that's why I got pissed with it. Not because it's Mike Epps or, you know, some people were like, oh, it's because some stupid people were like, oh, it's because they're all black. Like, no, it has nothing to fucking do with that. It has to do with you copping out and using the name of a movie because you know that people know what it is to get your show noticed. Like,
well, let's rewind for a second, because I don't think anybody knew what the fuck Uncle Buck was except for us, like the older generation. There aren't that many young cats that are watching TV nowadays that are like, oh, Uncle Buck, I remember that.
Well, I don't know, man. I
think if anything, this may have brought Uncle Buck to the attention of some people that had no fucking idea what it was.
Well, I don't know, man. I've seen a lot of people like friends of mine that have like friends of mine that are younger than me, that are not my generation, that have seen it, and they were like, and I think it came up in conversation a couple of times where they were like, oh yeah, I saw that. They're like, why are they using the same name as that movie? Like, people that I didn't even know had watched the movie. You know what I mean? Like, I thought it was beyond their generation, but they had seen it and they were like, oh, that's weird that they're, you know what I mean? Like, that was interesting to me. So, I mean, I don't know if it was, I mean, that kind of bothered me, and the whole, it's kind of gave me the same vibe that this new, like, Ghostbusters movie's given me. You know, like, everybody's like, are you going to go see Ghostbusters? And it's like, Becca wants to see it because she likes all those girls, and I don't really have a desire to, but I'll probably end up going with her because she wants to see it and whatever. But it's like, I will say this. If I go to see it, man, I'm going to go in with an open mind, but it's not just me that doesn't think this movie is going to work. There's a lot of people out there that don't think it's going to work because
I've heard it.
Because the preview, man. I mean
our boy McCarthy.
Yeah, I mean,
a couple, like, what's his name there? Pettit.
Yeah.
Why did I say it like that? Like, I don't know who the fuck the kid is. Pettit, you know, says the same thing. Like, it's like, I don't even Cullen. Mm-hmm. It's just like, you know, not about it. But I look at it and I'm like, dude, it's a new movie.
Yeah.
And if it sucks, it sucks. But let it suck on its own merits, not because it's a, you know, Ghostbusters movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but that's not why I have problems with it. The problem that I have with it is a couple of different reasons. One, I feel like Ghostbusters has to be a movie where it's taken seriously, and it's I don't think Ghostbusters ever was necessarily a comedy. Like, when I grew up and I watched Ghostbusters, it was one of those movies where my mom was like, I don't know if you're old enough to see this because it might scare you. So I actually thought it could possibly be like a scary movie, right? But as I got older, like, I started to find things more and more funny about it. And the comedy just worked, and it was awesome, and they're a great team, right? So trying to recreate that, I feel like the only time they should have done Ghostbusters is if they all came back and did it. And then Harold Ramis died. And I'm like, well, that's out the fucking window now. There's no way they're going to do that. Because it was on the table. The only one that was holding back was Bill Murray. But they were negotiating with him, and then Harold Ramis passed away. And it was literally like, a fucking shitty thing for him to die, because he was such a brilliant writer and an awesome guy. And he was just super talented. So when he died, it was like, that fucking sucks. And then it was like, okay, and now Ghostbusters isn't going to happen. And that's a side note. You know, like, it was more sucked that he died, but then, like, after a couple of weeks, I was like, oh shit, that's right. Like, Ghostbusters never going to do that. So that was kind of but then, like, they're like, we're going to do it anyway with a whole new fucking cast of people, and like, let's do it the same. Like, the director specifically went out and said, and he said, I like Ghostbusters just like everybody else. I'm not trying to reboot the film. I'm trying to do a continuation of it, right? Mm-hmm. Bullshit. You fucking lied. And that's what pisses me off. If you were going to do that, fine. But have there been like script leaks or like things that you like? Dude, look at the trailer.
I know, but have you seen anything that points to the fact that the other Ghostbusters never existed? Or
No, I don't know that yet. But my point is
That's what I'm saying. So we don't know what the fuck is going to happen in this movie. So how can we even start forming opinions?
Because there's things in the trailer that is a complete reboot. Like don't fucking drive up in a hearse and say I found this car. I'm going to make it into the Ecto, because that's exactly what Dan Aykroyd did in the first movie. Mm-hmm. Like, there's no way that happened twice, right? Like, it just didn't. And then you
can't find another hearse?
I'm just saying, though, get a different car, though. But you know what I'm saying? It's got to be, you got to pull up the same way and be like, I found this car. It happens. I don't know. It was just cheesy.
It's a different hearse.
Doesn't matter. It's the same. It's the same way that it happened in the first movie. That is rebooting it. It's all these people. They're starting from scratch again. Oh, you're a great physicist. You're a great scientist. And it's like, it's the token fucking people. They had to get if it was going to be 4 female characters, I just think it's odd how they had one African American, because they had to fill in that Ernie Hudson spot. It's like they had to get, you know what I mean? It just seems like they're trying to copy it. I don't know.
At least they didn't have one African American, one Japanese chick, one Indian chick, one white chick, to make sure that they had every fucking nationality represented, like they did in Star Wars. Fucking Force Awakens, yeah, you know what I mean, in space, by the way,
yeah, in space, yeah. But and those Scottish guys that came from out of nowhere,
yeah, the Scottish guys.
So I'm Scottish. I'm space Scottish. Anyway,
but dude, it's I get what you're saying, because I'm a Transformers fan through and through. I got a fucking Decepticon tattoo on my left shoulder. Mm-hmm. Diehard Transformers fan, Generation 1. When they announced that there was going to be a Transformers movie, I got pumped. And then I saw what they were going to look like, and I was kind of pissed off. But this is the difference, and this is what I don't understand. I wanted that movie to succeed, and I went to go and see it. And I kind of liked the first one. You know what I mean? And then I gave them a chance with the sequel, and then they fucking dropped the ball, and that was it. So I ended up hating the franchise. Right, but I hate it because it sucked and it deserved to be hated. This hasn't even dropped yet, and as a fan of something, to have somebody recreate that and try to bring it to a new generation of viewers, to hate on it before it even hits theaters, to me just feels weird.
You know what pisses me off? I think this is what makes me angry about it. One, don't fuck with a movie that doesn't need to be fucked with. It was perfect the way it was, and now you're going to make another fucking Ghostbusters movie, and it's attached to that franchise, and I know it's just not going to live up to the fucking Ghostbusters movie. That's one. Mm-hmm. 2 is... And I just fucking lost it. Oh, 2, I know that there are fucking people out there that are going to go see this movie and not watch the originals. And that's what really pisses me off. Don't fucking watch this movie without seeing the originals first. Mm-hmm. You have to watch the original Ghostbusters. And there are kids out there that are going to be like, I don't want to watch that. I don't know any of these people. Well, it's but you're going to watch this? That is not what Ghostbusters is. It's not that. And that is what the new generation is going to think is Ghostbusters. They're not going to go back and watch the fucking originals, because
here's the thing.
Not.
If this movie succeeds, right, people are going to want more Ghostbusters. So they're probably going to watch the originals.
No, dude, they're going to watch. I know I disagree with that completely. They're going to want to watch.
Did you see? Hold on. Let me see if I can pull the number. I don't know if I can pull the numbers up, but the sales of the original Star Wars trilogy after the release of Force Awakens actually peaked. It went up. The sales of the previous versions of the movie, they wanted to know more about the franchise. People it sparks interest.
Yeah, I don't know.
And they're not destroying the old movies. They're still there.
But I feel like Star Wars is such a big thing.
It is. It was a bad example, but I thought about that after I said it. But there are things that come out like Jurassic World.
Yeah. It's just with Ghostbusters, I think it's just a different situation. People are going to look at those. There are people out there where Bill Murray's got a cult thing going with the chive and stuff like that, where he's on shirts and it's cool to have Bill Murray on a shirt, and I get that because he's fucking awesome, and he shows up to bachelor parties and he just randomly, but who's gonna kick Bill Murray out? He's a fucking G. But he does stupid shit like that. But I don't think because this new generation goes to see Ghostbusters with Kristen Wiig, Melissa McCarthy, the other girl from SNL, Kate McKinnon, and Leslie Jones. I don't think they're going to be like, oh shit, let me go back and look at Bill Murray, Harold Ramis, Dan Aykroyd, and Ernie Hudson. I just don't see that happening. I don't. I don't know, man. It's one of those things like
It's like if they ever remade Jaws, you don't think that anybody would go back and watch the original Jaws?
Yeah, but Jaws is a huge. I think Jaws.
Ghostbusters is huge, man.
Not as big as Jaws.
No, but it's big.
Yeah, but
like I mean, like when you say Ghostbusters, who are you gonna call? Like that's what comes up. Everybody says it.
Yeah, but I feel like Jaws.
People know that shit.
I guarantee you, dude, that more people have seen Jaws than have seen like Ghostbusters. So Jaws, I feel like, is just like the #1 shark movie ever. Like it's done so much better for every community. You know what I mean? I just feel like Jaws is like, oh, that's it. That's the movie. Like, that's the shark movie. No one's going to beat it. I saw The Shallows last week, and The Shallows was a great movie, and it was definitely intense at some points. Some parts were a little, but I mean, it was probably one of the better movies, that has been made since Jaws. And everybody shits on Deep Blue Sea, and it kind of had like a dumb concept, I guess, with like the sharks were kind of smart. But I thought that was kind of cool too, and I thought it actually did a really good job, but people shit on it. So it's whatever, they're trying to reinvent something, and they're trying to top something that can't be topped with shark movies. But with Ghostbusters, I don't know. I'm going in circles. I think I've said my piece, but that's why I have a problem with it. You know what I mean? Don't fuck with a movie that doesn't need to be fucked with, and they're doing it.
Yeah, but I don't think they're really fucking with it because that movie's still there, and the people that would have seen that movie would still see the movie, and the people that wouldn't have watched the movie are still probably not going to watch the movie, but they may be more inclined to because there is a Ghostbusters presence.
Here's another example.
That's my point.
That maybe makes more sense, and maybe I can articulate it a little bit better. Mm-hmm. So you have the original Independence Day, which was fucking epic. It's probably one of the best movies out there that came out as far as like alien invasions go.
Right,
if you say alien invasion, everybody's like Independence Day.
I think this is a fantastic example. I know where you're going with this. Go ahead.
Independence Day's fucking awesome. Then you wait 20 years to do a sequel, and everybody is amped for it, and it fucking sucks. Dude, that movie was so awful. And now you have a sequel that is attached to the Independence Day franchise that sucked, when they could have just left it alone and not touched it, and you would have had Independence Day. That's it.
And does Independence Day now suffer for that?
No, but I'm just saying.
Because it's still a fucking awesome movie.
I'm not saying that it's not, but you have a piece of shit sequel attached to it. You know what I'm saying? It could have just been by itself, but now it's got a shitty sequel that's always going to be there.
I can go back to the Star Wars and say you had episodes 4, 5, and 6, which were beloved by fans for years.
Right.
20 years later, 20 to 30 years later, I can't remember. No, it was 20 years later. You get episode 1, 2, and 3, and they suck ass. And everybody agrees that they suck ass. Anybody who's a Star Wars fan agrees.
Agrees, yeah.
And nobody has said, gee, Star Wars 4, 5, and 6 has suffered for that. Star Wars 4, 5, and 6 is still beloved by the same people that hate 1, 2, and 3. And now those same people actually love episode 7.
Right, but I'm not saying it suffers. I'm not saying the movie suffers at all. Like, I will forever watch Independence Day and love that movie.
Same with Ghostbusters, right?
But there's always going to be this bullshit sequel that is attached to it that didn't need to be made. You know what I'm saying?
But I think the difference here is that you couldn't wait to see Independence Day 2. I wanted to see Independence Day 2 really, really badly. Jim could not wait to see Independence Day 2. Nobody said, fuck this movie before it came out, and you went to go see it, and then it was a piece of shit.
Jim said, Jim said, fuck this movie before he went to see it. Jim even said, and this is quote,
I thought you said he was like the biggest Independence Day fan.
He is, but he said, dude, every time I watch this trailer, I realize how shitty this movie's going to be. And he went into it, and it was fucking shitty. Like, there's so many loopholes in that movie, dude, that they didn't follow up on. Like, the whole, we already talked about it, but like the guy, Will Smith's son, horrible actor. Like,
I could tell he was a horrible actor just from the trailer, though.
Like, they were all just awful, and like Dr. Oaken, he was my favorite part. I even think Jeff Goldblum was a little weak because he was just like, he's all like Goldblumish out now. Like, he's like a parody of himself. When he was in Independence Day 1, he was like, he just had that like, that we're gonna buy you a couple minutes to take them down, do your stuff. Where you like kind of like he repeats himself, and now he's like, in Apartments.com, he's like, I'm fucking out there, Jeff Goldblum. And then he steps into Independence Day 2, and it's like, what the fuck happened to you? He's still decent, like, in his character, but he's lost it a little bit, you know? And then you got Dr. Oaken, who I think was probably the most, the closest to keeping the character true to what it was in the first movie, like almost exact.
Right.
But he shouldn't have been running around like he was Dr. Oaken in the first movie after not walking for 20 years. You know what I mean? Like, his muscles wouldn't have been there. But so that was a little like, well, that's lame.
I just got to be honest with you, man. If they did another Ghostbusters and it had Dan Aykroyd and Bill Murray and all, like, I just don't see them as, I don't even know if they're capable at this point in their careers.
I think that it would have been
weird to see like these old dudes like running around trying to, like, you know,
but an
old fat dude, an old kind of fat dude, and then like got like an old skinny dude, and
but I also feel like
dude.
The original idea.
Sorry, Harold.
The idea for that, which was pitched to Bill Murray, was they originally wanted to actually hand off the Ghostbusters to 4 guys that were like that could take over this franchise, which was Seth Rogen, Paul Rudd, Jonah Hill, and there was another one, and I forgot who it was. But those were like the people they had in mind that they were going to be like mentoring, and then they were going to take on the Ghostbusters franchise. Then this guy comes along after whatever, and he's like, we're fucking switching it all up. It's going to be all girls, and I'm going to make a full reboot. And it's just like, what the fuck? Like, you know what I mean? I don't know. It's just like, I don't know, dude. It's like a 180 from what everybody was expecting. And maybe some people could say that's good, but I think it's the worst fucking idea.
And this is the problem with news outlets like us that give you information years before something comes to pass.
Yeah.
Because we have all this time to stew on what coulda, shoulda, might have been, right? And then if it changes somewhere down the road, we're like, fuck this, right? And like, I get it, because I do the same thing with certain things, like Marvel movies. If I see something change, I'm like, Jesus, this is stupid. Or then you have, Man of Steel and Batman v Superman. Like, Batman v Superman and Man of Steel were kind of like that beginning of Batman v Superman, where like the Metropolis wasn't evacuated and like mad people died. Like, during Man of Steel, the writer and the director who actually wrote and directed Batman v Superman went on record to say, hey, we evacuated Metropolis before all that destruction. Do you think Superman would kill all those people? Blah, 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 da, 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 da. No, but I didn't think that we had to explain that. We didn't have to show it. We didn't have to do this, blah, because people were like pissed off that Metropolis got completely destroyed. And he was just like, oh, no, they evacuated. And in the beginning of Batman v Superman, totally did not evacuate, right? Like, shit like that, like, dude, like, you have like these news outlets that report everything. You go online, you can see pretty much everything coming up. I know it's coming up in fucking 2020, right? And it just doesn't leave you the ability to just like find something out, like, hey, this movie's coming out in a couple of months, right? Get excited for it, go and see it, and either love it or hate it based on how good the movie is. We have all this time to build up our expectations, right? And it's based on stuff that we're reading, stuff that we're seeing clips of, we're seeing leaks, we're getting this, we're getting that. Dude, I can't, you can't turn back, what's going on right now. We can't shut off the internet, but the fact is it kind of ruins the experience, and it's different from the way it was when we were younger. And, we found out that a movie was coming out and we're like, oh, I want to see that.
Right, but I think, and I agree with you on a part of that. But I think the other thing the point that I've been trying to make is, you're taking. I don't know, dude. Maybe I'm just being a little bitch about it, but it's like.
No, I don't think that's the case. Don't beat yourself up, man.
Well, I'm just saying, like you're
Tony. Tony, come off the ledge.
I got you.
Come off the ledge.
I'm good, but you're fucking with shit in my childhood that like I held like near and dear to my heart that I loved.
The fucking Ninja Turtles.
Yeah,
they did it to me.
Well, that's that's supposed to be like a whole other Ninja Turtles, I think, from a comic. But I don't know. Craig was talking to me about it, but like and that kind of made a little bit more sense why they are the way they are. But it's just like you're taking these awesome movies and trying to follow up with sequels 20 years later, where like they stand on their own now. They're awesome the way they are. Just because Hollywood is unoriginal, stop trying to make sequels to movies that should just be left alone. Like I was looking forward to Beetlejuice 2, but then when I found out it was not happening, I was relieved because I was like, oh, good. Like they can't fuck that up because it's not gonna be made, you know. And I'm like, good, because I don't know if that could ever be beat. It's so fucking awesome the way it is. You're gonna have Michael Keaton. Like Michael Keaton probably could pull it off, but like it's not gonna be the same. You know, I'm just like it's one of those scary things I get. You know, people fucking with. But hey, man, if I am the only, why am I not the only one who feels this way? There's a whole other world of people that feel the same way about these movies that I'm talking about right now. So I don't know. It's not
there
just
are.
me. It's not just me though.
Yeah, I know.
So
and
why am I not the only one then? You know, I feel like there's a valid point. If I feel this way, then and other people are too, then there's a reason for it. It's not like I'm just complaining to be a fucking annoying little bitch. I'm just stating the way I feel, and apparently there's a lot of people behind that. I don't know. It's interesting, but I don't know. I think I'm good. I think I said my piece.
There is a speaking of Beetlejuice, you reminded me that Tim Burton's actually got another movie coming out.
Oh, I heard about that.
And it looks pretty dope. It's a lady, Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children.
I've heard about that.
It's got Samuel L. Jackson in it.
Yeah.
Friggin' the chick from, you ever watch Penny Dreadful?
Yeah, the girl, the main chick.
The main girl in there is going to be in it. It looks like it's going to be really good.
Yeah.
And I read the book. I looked through the book. I didn't really read it. Confession. Yeah. I was on a plane. You know, you get suckered into like, oh, you buy a book and you can get half off. You can get half the money back when you get back to the next airport. I did that shit. I fell for it, and then I never read the book because like I was listening to music the whole fucking plane ride. Yeah. But anyway, I thumbed through the book, and you know what I did thumb through was like really interesting, and it looks like it's going to be really good.
I could see it. I mean, I think Tim Burton's good.
It's Tim Burton, so
is Johnny Depp in it?
Probably.
I hope not.
He's probably got he probably throws his cell phone at one of the kids.
Yeah, I think Johnny Depp needs to step away from Tim Burton for a little bit. That's all I'm going to say. Do something without fucking makeup on your face, buddy.
What an ass I am.
Yeah, whatever.
Oh, shit.
Well, I'm good, man.
Yeah, me too, man. That's it.
So, yeah, keep your ears open because, you know, like we said, we're going to Walker Stalker, man. So, and we got Cassidy next week. So,
yeah, Cassidy. Not the rapper.
Not the rapper. Yeah, yeah.
She does cosplay.
She does cosplay.
And when I say she does cosplay,
she does cosplay.
She does cosplay. How does she do cosplay? She makes costumes, bro.
She does.
And then she wears them.
Yep. It took her a while to get her Xena costume together, but she's got one of those. She looks fucking awesome in it. She kills it in Wonder Woman. She actually was Wonder Woman for the Social Avenger, which was in New York this last weekend, which I was in the show with her. But she came out as a person who was dressed as Wonder Woman in a Comic-Con scene, so it was perfect. Yeah. And she kills it, and she looks exactly like her. And then she does some Game of Thrones characters, but I'm going to keep that on the low down or the down low for now until we do that. We talk about that. So
word.
That's it.
So we'll see you out there in the Twitterverse, in Facebook world, and everywhere else that you guys happen to run across Redbeard Podcast.
Yeah.
Peace.
Later. Word. The episode started off slow, man, but it fucking picked up with that Ghostbusters shit.
Yeah, I think